test.
Yikes.
5.
Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, Barry.
Don't stop the stream.
Do stop it?
Do not stop the stream.
Stop record though, right?
Yeah, stop record. Start it and just play it again.
And Tom, don't worry about the time because they didn't start.
Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading.
I am.
Let me show you a trick.
Why is this doing that? Hold on, man. I got it.
I'll show you a trick on the audio.
It's 45. Where the heck is that?
CJ, shh.
I'll show you a trick on the audio, Mike. Real quick.
One second now. Hold on. Stop playing. There we go. On the audio, what?
Just highlight it over right there and double click it. Now, you can drag it down from 0 from there.
30 seconds. I'll tell
But it
you.
was just set where I needed it.
Are you guys ready?
You can do a flight test play on it. Do a test play on it.
Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from
No, we got it. We'll just do it with 5 seconds. Oh.
All right, ready? 10 seconds.
Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Now order, all hands man your battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
Yes, we do that, and we do a whole bunch more on Manic Panic Monday Funday. That's the new name, Manic Panic Monday Funday. Yes, I'm wincing in pain. Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah, an old
War wound.
football injury, acting up over the weekend. So CJ and everybody, if I just fall, I shouldn't do that.
Do that.
If that happens, then the show.
Then the show will go on. Don't
The
worry.
show must go on. Hi, everybody. It is the 29th July on a couple of minutes after 5 o'clock. I do a little math when I look at the clock. A couple of minutes past 5 p.m. in the afternoon, East Coast time. Tom Trento here with CJ and the Bunker Boys.
The fabulous Bunker Boys.
Fabulous Bunker Boys. We have a great Monday to start what's going to be a wild week. It is our, what am I calling it? Manic Panic Monday Funday. Sort of like Jumpin Jum'ah Freaky Friday. Last Friday we had Diana West.
Oh, I love her.
Everybody loves her. We're getting great email about Diana, and she absolutely is having a blast being part of our team here. So we're gonna make that
Your team of Islamophobes.
regular gig.
Cool.
Do I hear a slimy imami in there?
Yes.
Oh, I do. Okay, good. Well, we'll get to you in a little bit. But we have no special guests today. We're special.
We're special.
We're special
well,
enough.
We're nothing. We're just cannon
Special
fodder.
enough.
We're nothing. See.
But what you get on Mondays, folks, is the accumulated years of intense wisdom and brilliant analyses on our part. There are very few questions we can't answer, and very few questions we can't ask that you can answer. So we will sort of go around the world and share our view with you as to what we think is important, what you should know. And what do we have today? We have 464 or 63. What is it? I got to do this with my glasses. 464 days until that special day.
That special day.
What is it?
Election Day,
Oh, I'm
2014.
talking about when you're going to walk down the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Rashid Gill?
We have to plan way in advance for that.
Rashid Gill.
Rashid Gill. Remember him?
How to erase Zionists.
How to wipe
erase
the Jews
Zionists?
off the map.
Yeah, how to erase Jews off the map. But Zionists, he put.
He's got the
Right.
hots for CJ?
He's got the hots for CJ.
Okay.
Did you say I sent you the email? Last week, a couple of weeks ago, we did a short little analysis of Rashid Gill's book, How to Wipe Zionists Off the Map.
AKA Jews.
And over the weekend, he sent me an email, and he had like 10 points. He's very organized. You said this, when this is true, you are the Antichrist. He kept calling me the...
He doesn't have the courage to come on the show.
No, he doesn't have... I actually said at one point in my return thing, I said, look, this is all great and fun, but call me when you have the balls, I said, to come on our show. And then I said, I never actually determined if you were a guy or a chick, right? What are you? I said. I think he's a guy. I'm pretty sure he's a guy. But in any event, he had all this stuff. I just blew off all his stuff, and then I hit him with some Christian stuff to challenge his thinking. But his last sentence was, oh, by the way, he says, that smart girl next to you, do you think if I compliment her like this, she'll go to lunch with me?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why, so he could kill her?
I kill you, you fool!
I thought he wants to go to lunch with Pamela Geller.
He's digging these.
He wants to kill her, too. I don't blame him one bit.
I don't
Muslim-
understand. I thought they're not supposed to fraternize.
I don't know. I don't know. So what I did,
I need
said,
to see the scriptural authority for such an engagement.
What I did was I said, I'm working on it, Rashid. I'm working on it. Let's see where all of this goes. But I think he's one of these. He's a very smart guy, but I think he's one of these Muslims.
So is that who you picked out for me that I'm marrying in 2014?
You could go eat some shawarma and smoke some hookah pipe.
Well, we got to see if he's in a position to donate securely. That's point number
Oh.
one. Okay, he may be a Saudi prince or something. CJ, come on.
Are you pimping out your co-host?
No,
Well,
I'm
it is
solidifying
Manic
her
Panic
future.
Funday Monday.
I'm solidifying her future is what I'm doing. Okay.
Actually, he just wants anybody to take me off his hands.
Well, the thing about it is, does he realize that if you two do get in, matrimonial bliss, that he would have to become Jewish, and therefore he'd have to wipe himself off the face of the earth, and therefore he'd have to kill himself in a suicide.
unless she reverts.
No, he thinks I would have to revert.
No, I don't think so. I think you'd have a dueling,
What would be your problem?
What
What would be your problem? What would be your problem, CJ, with reverting back to
My
Islam?
Muslim
Both-
roots.
Both
Even though
Abraham.
your Jewish roots precede, even though your Jewish roots precede.
Even
the
though my
Muslim-
roots came first.
What would be your problem? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? Gosh, I don't know. Can we do a whole show on that? Why CJ doesn't want to be a
Hey,
Muslim?
look. All you have to do is look around and see one of the leading Jewish celebrities in the world, Anthony Weiner, one of the leading Jewish celebrities, married to one of the leading Muslim brother.
Celebrities.
Spy celebrities.
Right.
Right,
They can do it.
Uma Abedin, right?
She
right.
didn't have to
Revert.
and he didn't have to.
Or he didn't have to revert.
He didn't have to revert, and she didn't have to convert.
Right.
Good night,
And
Daniel.
why is that exactly?
That is a very perplexing.
Conundrum it is.
Yes, it's a conundrum.
Gee, I wonder
It's
why.
a conundrum.
I
Yeah.
picked up Anthony Weiner in the Deadpool draft.
I have to tell you, that's probably, I don't know if you read or saw any of the impressions of the young woman who was sexting with Weiner, but she suggested that their marriage, Huma and Anthony, was a business arrangement.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked because I really thought it was a love match.
Well, I tell you what, I was watching the whole image of her standing by her man type of scenario.
Uh-huh.
And she just looks like a total knucklehead standing. I mean, I forgive you for the second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh, unless, of course, you're not going to run for office, or, of course, unless you're not going to be a public figure.
I think
It's just,
In
they
which case,
all
my
knew.
cousins will chop your head off.
I think they all knew. She knew. The Clintons knew. Everybody behind her knew exactly what he was up to before they put them together to get married. They set it up for her to marry a Jewish guy to whitewash the fact that she's a Muslim sister. And then they had to figure out how to get rid of this guy when he turned out to be a weenie, which they knew that he was to begin with. So now they get rid of Anthony Weiner,
Okay.
and she comes
Get rid
out
of
looking
in the sort of
in sort of.
Sicilian kind of get rid of.
Well,
or-
I think obviously politically he's
Honor killing.
he's kaput. Okay, I think something unfortunate will probably happen to him that will end up
Elevator
having to
shaft.
be investigated. Okay,
Yeah.
seriously, I do.
Suicide.
Suicide.
I'm not ruling that out.
I
I'm not
think
ruling
it'll
out
be like a
suicide, yeah.
suicide thing. That
Vince
is it or is
Foster.
it Adla Vince Foster?
Well, my
Yeah,
question about
exactly.
Uma-
Assisted
But she
suicide.
comes out looking like the tragic heroine. Gee, I tried to make this work. I stood by him, whatever. And now look at all the power structure she has behind her and all her bad stuff. Let's throw it out there that she's a Muslim sister a few years before Hillary's running for president. Get rid of that.
Burn
That's
that up.
old news. Burn that up. Burn up the fact that she was taking full-time pay to be a consultant for the State Department when she wasn't working there, and she was working from home part-time.
For Bill Clinton.
While she was,
135,000
Yeah.
from the State Department.
yeah, while she
350 on
was
the other
consulting for one of Bill Clinton's foundations and companies.
He was on the
And
board
get
of the
rid
company.
get rid of that early on. And then she's got a couple of years to redo herself as a tragic American political Muslim princess, and then she can run with Hillary.
was she married to Anthony Weiner before?
It's perfect.
Was she married to Anthony Weiner before she hooked up with Hillary Clinton?
No. Hillary came first.
Hillary
She's
came
been with
first.
Hillary
She's
for
been with
12
Hillary
years.
for
That's what I
yeah.
And when you
since
say
the
been with
90s.
Hillary,
Yeah, I don't even want to
Well,
go there,
yeah,
but
there's been
rumors.
quite a bit
Yeah.
of talk about that also, which might explain why she's so quick to, forgive Anthony, is that she's had her own
there's nothing to
dalliances.
forgive. She does. What does she care one way or the other? It's not a real marriage.
If you think of it as a faux marriage, as a marriage of convenience, a marriage of political opportunity,
Right.
is
Bill and Hillary.
It's
Yes.
it's true. It's like, I don't care what you do. You want to go show your wee on the internet? I don't care. Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And then if you want to keep doing that, I'll keep forgiving you. But I'm going to look like the victim, look like the golden child here
Right.
on this one at the end.
Right.
You know, I was, like we all do, we roll this stuff around in our heads, right, in preparation for the shows.
Yeah.
And I read something that Mark Stein wrote, who's a fabulous writer.
Yeah.
And I just, whenever I thought of it, I just started cracking up the way he constructed the phrase.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, he said, this wasn't the funny part, this was the sad part. He said, in a more sane time, he said, Weiner would be too morally embarrassed to even run. I mean, in a healthier culture,
Right.
He would be too morally embarrassed to even run.
Right.
which
Well,
is
if he
interesting.
were a Republican, he would be.
But then he said, so basically, New York is going to have a mayor who takes a picture of his penis and and emails it to people he doesn't know. He goes, think about this for a minute. Here's a guy who takes a picture of his penis and emails it to people he doesn't know, and he may become mayor of New York.
Come on, New York.
What
a
I
little
did
bit of
for my
respect.
summer vacation.
And you know how when you're traveling and you're from different cities, and, oh, you're from New York? Yeah, yeah. You know our mayor, don't you? No, no.
Everybody does.
He's the guy who takes a picture of his junk and emails it to people he doesn't know. Oh, that
Oh,
guy.
that guy,
Well,
yeah.
the thing
I
is,
voted for
do you
him.
know what? Okay, people have their kinks, and that's one thing. But this guy has compulsions, and that's something completely different.
Well, you know what it is, and this is probably the best analogy I heard, for the whole Anthony Weiner thing. He's a serial flasher out in the public square. He just runs past people and shows his wanker to whoever he wants to, like in downtown New York. That's what he should be thought of.
When
Anthony,
I
it's
was
the
a
middle
kid-
of July. Why
when
are
I
you wearing
was
a
a
trench
kid-
coat?
When I was a kid, this is the guy that my parents warned
Warned
me,
you.
don't get in the car with him. I don't care if he's Jewish.
All right, I stirred a little bit of stuff up on my Facebook page. I wrote this the other day. Let me find it. In light of this, and it just hit me. Where'd it go? I'll find it. I want to read it exactly the way I wrote it. It was very interesting.
Okay. Did it have to do with what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a wiener
yeah, yeah.
thing.
Okay.
It's a wiener thing.
It's a wiener thing.
It's a wiener thing.
And you know these
I'm in the
Facebook-
bunker here with lots of wieners talking about the wiener
Yes,
thing.
ladies'
How many
day.
wieners does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Okay.
That's
there
the
we go.
joke.
Okay, you ready? Here's what I wrote on Saturday. I put this on Facebook, and I got a lot of response. I wrote, the hypocrisy of the Democrat left never ceases to amaze me. When I hear Nancy Pelosi and Gloria Allred condemning Democrat sex perverts Mayor Filner from San Diego
Right.
and Mayor Wannabe Wiener, I want to scream out words my mother told me never to say. It's rather simple. Political hacks like Pelosi and Allred have spent their entire careers propagating a pro-sexual culture with no limitations. You want to kill your baby? It's your right. Gay marriage? Absolutely your right. Pornography? Go for it. Prostitution? Decriminalize it. And on and on and on. Moreover, those of us on the right who have fought for Judeo-Christian ethics to inform public policy have been attacked by the enlightened and sexually promiscuous Dems. But when the deviates logic, now this is the key point, when the deviates, Wiener, logically behave in a manner that their culture allows, the stupider than thou Dem leaders are all aghast and condemn the deviates by using the moral standards of the conservative right. Ethical hypocrites. You know what? Dems like Pelosi and others, who rightfully, but without a consistent philosophical basis, condemn the wieners of the world, have absolutely no idea what I'm explaining, which further proves my point.
Well, that's exactly 100% right.
Absolutely.
No moral basis for which to get outraged. Yet, on the other side, they completely just promote all this stuff. I mean, if you look at it logically as a 0-1 type of thing, this is what the outcome is sexting on the internet.
Would they say
But the thing
this
is,
was a consensual woman, the Sydney Leathers?
the thing is about this, if you're talking about Pelosi and
Gloria Allred is defending,
Gloria Allred, okay, they're kind of like the Sharpton and the Jackson of feminism.
Yep.
What they call feminism, which is profoundly anti-feminist.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's totally misogynistic. But until there was an outrage and a backlash against the appalling behavior of these specific men, they were silent. Oh, he needs to go to therapy. Oh, we're standing quietly by. the way they would shout, stomp, and screech from the rooftops if either of these men were Republicans. We all know this to be true.
First of all, the Republicans would never allow Weiner to continue. I really don't. I think that he would have been
forced him out a long time
forced
ago.
out. That
Never
you've
got
got to
him.
go, bro. The time to go, you freak.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes the Democratic Party to not do that. To one of their
Watch
candidates.
this. This woman, one of the women. Did you see the press conference where somebody says to Weiner, "Well, how many women are out there?" And he goes, "Oh, it's not dozens and dozens.
It's definitely less than 10, maybe 6 to
6
10.
to 10.
For sure, 3 are going to come out, but so far only one has.
but then he
the other
says-
2 are negotiating deals.
But I can't determine what's inappropriate to another person, so maybe they don't mind seeing pictures of me." But one of the women, this Sydney Leathers, who's trying to cash in on all of this,
Right.
she's a 23-year-old woman, and you go to Pelosi and Allred, and you say, "Are you opposed to, and would you want to legislate against and prohibit a consulting male adult and a consulting female adult from
Consenting, yeah.
exchanging pornographic information and in the privacy of their lives?" I mean,
Right.
what is? You think that's morally right or wrong? What do you think their position is? They're both from
Yeah, when
California.
you put it into general terms, I thought, well, people
Well,
have a
why
right to
is
do
he
that.
wrong then? Well, why would they say if you ask Pelosi
Mm-hmm.
if it's okay in the macro in your worldview to do what Weiner did,
Right.
why is it wrong for him in the micro to do that? When the woman was all for it.
Because he's running for mayor.
So what's the moral prohibition?
The
What's
problem,
the difference?
the problem
Is there something wrong with your
the
position?
problem, yeah, there's 2 problems here. The problems with it are, first of all, because this is something that he did before that was considered egregious enough that he needed to resign from Congress for and go into therapy and work on his marriage and rehabilitate himself and everything
all
else.
those Democrat
which-
values.
Which he said that he had done, and which he touted in his New York Times spread and People magazine and Vanity Fair and all this kind of stuff. So that's point number 1. Then it turns out when he said that he had done all those things, and his wife said he had done all those things, and they were on track, and then it turns out, oops,
Oops.
Oops.
Oop, the little wiener
oops,
got
I
loose.
did
Okay,
it
that's-
again.
but that's the
okay,
analysis.
So that's reason
That's
number
the
one.
analysis of
Yeah.
this. But I'm arguing from the
moral- yeah, right.
philosophical, the
Well, it's a good
ethical perspective, where the left just castigates the right for saying no, inappropriate behavior. Because he's married, inappropriate behavior just on the traditional biblical Christian and Jewish values. That's not how a man should function according to these time-honored traditional values. So we think anybody doing that is not maximizing their life and is in fact minimizing much areas of their life. And the left
Okay,
laughs at us.
You're
Yeah,
never
and they
going to
say-
hear anybody on the left say that, but I would at least
they're
at least
ethical
like to
hypocrites.
hear them say that this guy is out of control in his behavior and he's not fit for that reason, if nothing else, if you want to leave the morals out of it, the marriage out of it, the appropriateness out of it,
But
all
here's
of
my
that.
point.
He is compulsively sick.
But here's my
and
point.
he
Hang on.
shouldn't be in charge of anything.
If he's compulsively sick in the micro, he did this here,
Why-
then why is it magically okay in the macro to do that somewhere else with other people?
Where does the transition
Yeah.
happen?
Ethically.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
It doesn't.
It doesn't. And now, as you're saying this, I'm reading reports right on the TV as we speak that, Democrats are pressuring him to resign from the race. And the only reason they're pressuring him to resign from the race, I really believe it's coming from the Jon Stewarts and the comedians are laughing at him. It's only morally wrong if someone laughs at you and you make us look bad. That's their moral decision. If it's acceptable and the political pundits are not outraged by it, then it's okay. That's
Right,
their moral standard.
right.
If we're being a laughing stock, then oh my
Right.
God, then he has to go because we can't be a laughing stock.
That's a good point, because if they could have turned this around to be laughing at people like you, Tom,
Be fine.
for being outraged about this to begin with, and for challenging them on their lack of,
Yeah.
moral and ethical standards. If you could be the butt of the joke instead of Anthony Weiner,
They'd be loving
then
it.
they'd be all for it.
That's
Yep.
right.
And Elliot Spitzer is just in the background doing ridiculous
Red lights.
ads
Yeah, right.
for his campaign. What
That's
do you
crazy.
what do you say
I
about
don't
it?
well,
text-
here's-
I don't. Hi, I'm Elliot. I don't text pictures of my penis. I spend $3,000 an hour on hookers. Who would you
I want
rather
to
have?
clean up and clean out Wall Street and totally bankrupt the city from jobs and tax revenues. Elect me to be your controller.
It's
Are you
actually
kidding
It's
me?
actually $4,000 an hour, and just on the put the moral thing aside, he's paying $4,000 an hour for a hooker. This guy's got to be has a different
That's
financial
what he paid
advisor.
for a hooker? $4,000?
$4,000
I mean,
an hour.
who would want him as controller? He's controlling a budget, and this guy's spending that kind of money
Oh,
on
yeah,
hookers.
just on that point alone.
I mean,
Yo,
he
but
should
spend-
lose on that alone. Forget the morals. It's just not good business.
Couldn't even negotiate a discount for himself.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah, he's going to be bad.
Vegas
He's going to
is
bankrupt New York. All right, well, anyway, we will do, folks, at 23 minutes after 5 o'clock on the 29th, Monday, July. There we go. We'll continue with an expose we are in the process of producing.
Expose.
Not on the wiener stuff.
Oh.
What are we going to expose now?
On Mahmoud. On Mahmoud.
Mahmoud.
We're gonna take a very, very serious look at Mahmoud and the connections that Mahmoud has to our particular area of interest, national security issues, the Muslim Brotherhood, Muslim Sisterhood.
Who's Mahmoud?
So Mahmoud,
Who's Mahmoud?
Anthony Weiner's wife, Mahmoud.
Ahmed.
Yeah, her name is Mahmoud.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
not too many people know that it's Mohammed, the feminine version of Mohammed.
I
Mahmoud.
did not know that.
Well, they don't
That's
quite put the Mahmoud out there.
Kind of like Hussein
Until
before
she
the
gets
election.
elected to something, and then
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 it
you
comes
can
out.
say
She
it,
runs
kind
beer
of like
board.
Hillary Rodham Clinton after they're in, and
No,
Barack
Barack
Hussein Obama after he's in.
But I think you were right, CJ, with the analysis. And we haven't even brought in the analysis of having her Uma be on some moral high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now she can get a position in any Democrat administration anywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to preserve that, and
Yeah.
particularly for...
Well, also
for-
on the McCain
but-
administration.
But here's... But we haven't even brought in, folks, and we don't have time to do it, the Willie factor. The slick Willie factor.
I thought
Oh,
we were
that
Willie.
Willie!
So many
From one Willie to another.
the double entendre just keep rolling off our lips here. Yeah, the whole Willie Clinton. I mean, if you're
Free
Anthony
Willie.
and you're thinking, should I quit? Should I go on? You go. I've been trained and mentored by the Clintons. We were married. The Clintons married Uma and Anthony. We're married by them. This guy got caught in the Oval Office. I'm
With
just
the
sending
cigar,
pictures
yeah.
out,
With the
right?
cigar, yeah.
And he is a rock star, world global rock star.
Yep.
There's room for me under the
Under
umbrella.
Under the Willie
Yeah,
umbrella.
the Willie umbrella. We all wieners and willies can get under that umbrella. You got to be thinking.
No
that
jokes about the rain.
way. Yeah, right. So we haven't even brought that in yet. But you know what?
No.
We got to move on because we got so much on
Let's, we have
TrentoVision.
to identify ourselves.
Yes,
One of the-
TrentoVision.tv, WNN 1470, where if you listen to us or watch us, you can live, laugh, and learn. How about that?
Live,
Edutainment.
laugh, and learn.
Edutainment. Yeah, we want you to definitely be tuning in every morning, WNN 1470, to get a little more serious stuff on Obama to start your morning than you normally would. Steve Kane and Brian Craig, they start you off beautifully. And then at 4 o'clock, Holly Meredith, she's a tough lady. She's on WNN 1470 dealing with these issues from a conservative point of view. Then we roll in at 5 o'clock every day. You can listen on WNN 1470. You can listen on iHeartRadio. You can watch on TrentoVision. Tea Party Community. Hello, Tea Party Community. Tim, everybody there, great
Hello.
people. More and more people are starting to
They
watch
need
us
to, on the Tea
there.
Party community, they need to sign up to the TrentoVision, subscribe to the button on our webpage. If you're on a teapartycommunity.com and you're watching right now, hit the subscribe button on the TrentoVision page and pick up the subscription.
Do they have that on their homepage on Tea Party
It's
Community?
actually on the video. If they're watching the video right now,
Our show, okay.
there's a little symbol in your upper, it looks like the United West
Okay.
logo.
Oh, cool.
Click on that,
Hit that.
and you go, boom, you're right there.
I didn't even know that. Go to Bare
You got to
Naked.
be logged on to YouTube to do that.
Okay. Got to go to Bare Naked Islam. Good website for some tough
Oh,
stuff.
gosh, yes.
And Watchdog Wire with Rich Swire. He has a great article about the Vaughns today, Billy and Karen Vaughn, and
Yeah.
a movement in Congress, folks, to
Yeah.
investigate extortion 17. So
That's
we
right.
Go to DianaWest.net.
DianaWest.net. I mean, we're going to have like credits at the end of the
No,
show
we
that
do.
go.
AtlasShrugs.com.
Do you ever see those credits that
Jihad
go like
Watch.
this? Like 1,000 miles an hour? Hey, look, Mom, there's my name. So, all right, today is Manic Panic Monday Funday. Manic Panic.
You keep changing
Monday
it up.
Funday.
What is it?
Manic Panic Monday. It's
I
on your
like
phone.
that. That's
Manic
new.
Panic
I like
Monday
it.
Funday. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got-
yeah.
It's no Jumpin Jum'ah
Okay,
Freaky
who
Friday,
is?
but it's damn
Yeah,
close.
who's panicking though? Where does the panic come in?
Over the weekend, all the manic panic craziness over the weekend, we bring
is
on
it?
Monday. Hello,
Panic.
Mark. Shut your phone off. And on Monday we bring you Fun Day with all the manic panic. So, and there's a lot of it. Let me tell you.
Hey, Tom, being we went off schedule, do
We're
you want to
never
hit
off
the Ramadan count real quick?
We're never off schedule. We're always on schedule.
Did you want CJ to?
No. I want to
Okay.
bring it in a little bit. I gotta go to our little list there. One of the big issues on national security that is in front of us right now on TrentoVision.tv at 5:30 p.m. on the 29th of July is what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. That is, and I want us to discuss this for a moment. The first time in many years that the Palestinians and the Israelis are sitting down at the table to hammer out, finally, after 4,000 years, a peace treaty. All because of John Kerry. John Frenchie Kerry. All right.
What can you say about any of this? You think it's just you think you're going to launch into something. What can you say that hasn't been said?
You almost don't know where to start on something absurd, completely illogically absurd as this. But let's just. It's so difficult for people really to digest.
It's not just talks, it's final status.
Yeah.
Talks. Final status.
And though we have a very erudite audience, listeners, viewers, probably most people don't understand the complexities of the Israeli-Palestinian dialogue and all of that. So here on the show, we want to tickle your funny bone, but we also want to challenge your gray matter, and not always in that order. Let's just have some kind of bullet points that people should be aware of as the New York Times and the Washington Post make this out to be John Kerry is a superstar and Obama are superstars. They're finally bringing peace in our time to Israel. So, what do you think, Imam Abdullah? You guys are sitting at the table in Washington, D.C. right now with some of the folks from Israel to figure out how to get together and just love each other.
First of all, let me be clear. I would not sit at the table with a Jew.
Okay.
So it would have to be in separate rooms. Secondly,
What is the reason? I mean, what is the reason? For that?
because they're apes and pigs and just filthy beings, I do not like.
So you wouldn't have lunch with me then?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You're not halal. Well, here is the thing. It is quite apparent that the United States, the rest of the UN, is very, very, very determined to create a Palestinian state and get rid of the occupation, the violent, horrible occupation from the Zionist pigs. And whatever is necessary will be done by the United States, your John Kerry, your Barack Hussein Obama, and the rest of the United Nations to strong arm the state of Israel into releasing a bunch of murderers, giving up land, and basically signing its own death warrant. It is fantastic.
All right, I think it's important, CJ, to tell the audience. The other day I got an email from one of the followers, fans of the show. He was furious with Imam Abdullah. He said that guy was sitting there laughing at America for what it's doing, and he just went crazy. And I'm going, okay. And this is a pretty smart guy that writes me regularly. Mm-hmm. I'm going, okay. I sent it to Abdullah, and I wrote back to the gentleman that emailed me. I said, do you realize Abdullah is make-believe, that he's not a real imam?
What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you.
He smells like one.
It's a character that somebody plays, but they play the character exactly the way the intelligence, the information, the dialogue, the media come out of the Middle East from Palestinian Media Watch or Memory.
Right.
And what's being said is exactly what's being said by many Muslim imams
In
worldwide.
Arabic, not in English. We speak two different things. In English, we say one thing, Arabic, the other.
I said to the guy writing me, he goes, oh, thank you. He was so mad at Abdullah. So, folks, he is not a real guy. Or is he?
Or
Memorex?
is he? He's so real to me.
I know.
I
so
think
real
he's
to
pretty
me.
real. I think he's a real
What
jerk.
what do you think about the timing of these? I think they're going to obviously be fake peace talks. I don't think Israel's going to give up anything, and the only thing I could think is that it has something to do ultimately with Iran.
Well, for our audience, at 35 minutes after 5 o'clock in the afternoon on July 29th, for our audience, the way you live in safety and security in the United States, and you're listening worldwide, and certainly in Europe and in the Middle East, is directly related to what goes on in Al-Quds, okay, in Jerusalem, in the old city. What takes place there impacts your life, and then you can draw very small concentric circles going out of Jerusalem and hit the neighboring countries and the ones that include a lot of oil. And all this stuff about the peace talks in Washington today, starting today, affect your national security and your economic security as it relates to oil. Therefore, what we're talking about is not esoteric. It's very, very important. To state the problem simply, we have two sides, the Jewish side and the Arab/Islamic side. Not all Islamic people, a Muslim is a member of Islam. Not all of them are Arabs. There's about 300 or 400 million Muslims who are Arabs. But ironically, around the 49 square miles of Jerusalem and all of Israel, which is the size of New Jersey, there's 300 to 400 million Muslims, mostly Arabs, surrounding it. I used this the other night at a speaking thing. Mm-hmm. Picture a football field. Everybody has an image of a football field or soccer field, long rectangle, gigantic. And picture in Florida, we know this next thing I'm going to tell you very intimately, a piece of sod. What is a piece of sod?
A little piece of earth.
Yeah.
It is about
A little
2
piece of
feet by
grass
3
to
feet.
plant.
It's about 2 feet by 3 feet.
No,
right?
it's not that. It's like A piece of sod is like this.
She has not seen
you
sod
don't
this
know
what
sod.
Joe.
She don't know
Goro-
sod.
She does not know. She does no gardening.
Oh,
She does not
please!
know
I
that.
just
This
had
may
my
be-
lawn
this
replaced
may
like 3
be
months
a
ago.
Jewish American princess, I think we have here.
No, they were
Have you
little
ever laid
squares
sod?
like this.
Have
I
you ever
have
picked up
not.
That's a ceramic tile, not sod.
Okay, maybe
Did you hear
these are
that,
the
Mark?
cut one. Maybe these are
She's
the.
telling us about a piece of sod, and we asked, did you ever lay a piece of sod?
Green side up, CJ.
Piece of sod is about 2 feet by 3 feet
Okay.
when it rolls
no,
off.
okay. No, I thought when you said a piece, I didn't know you meant like the rolled up one that you would
Okay.
roll out. I thought you meant a little piece like this, that was
I got an
pre-cut
idea.
to fit around the mailbox or something.
I need.
Oh, now there is special mailbox sod.
That's the line your mailbox is with.
I
I'm going
actually
to Home
need.
Depot for mailbox sod.
I actually
There's a
need some
high demand for
sod work at my house. So let me know what you're doing tomorrow afternoon. Picture a piece of sod, 2 by 3. When it
Bigger
rolls
than
out.
this.
Bigger than
and,
that.
and we give it to CJ,
That's
and,
proportional. That's proportional.
and she goes and walks right into the center of the football field, and if it's a soccer field, right where the game starts, the ball's thrown down, and she puts that little piece of sod 2 feet by 3 feet right in the center. Analogously, now I'm explaining this picture in your mind. Israel is that little piece of sod surrounded by the Muslim world, land and population around it. That's how huge the Muslim, Arab, Islamic world is around a little tiny
So
piece
it's
of
not
dirt.
just the
And-
field, it's the bleachers with all the
It's the
people
whole
in it
thing.
as well.
And
And,
the-
the parking lot and everything.
And the world, the Islamic world, the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, 57, the EU now, the European Union, and many Asian countries, everybody is saying the solution to world peace, which is centered in Israel, is for Israel to cut their piece of sod in half and give it over to the Arab world.
Right.
If the Arabs just got half of that little piece of sod and added it to the immensity of everything they have, then we'd have world peace. That's the issue, folks. And the Jewish people are saying, are you people out of your mind?
No, well, wait a minute. The problem is, it's not just how ridiculous that is in and of itself. What gets even more ridiculous is when you say the Jewish people are on this side. Well, let's take those Jewish people and divide them down even further. Because when you look at the United States and you look at Israel, and you look at the Jewish populations in these two countries, and that's where most of the Jewish people in the world live,
Yes.
and that's why I use these two examples.
There's about 15 million worldwide.
Not even that many.
CJ, just for your edification, we have a graphic for you.
What do we have? The magic of television. Hey!
Oh, yeah, that is
A
sod.
pallet of
Pallet
sod.
of sod.
No, well, when he said a piece,
That's
I thought he
wonderful.
just meant a piece, like a little
blade.
square
A blade
of it,
of
not
I thought
a
he
whole
meant a blade of
piece.
grass.
Okay. For
Okay.
those of you in your car, we're showing
Because
a
you
pallet.
will have a bunch of loony leftists in the United States. They call themselves Democrats. And in Israel, they call themselves the Labor Party and the center left, although there's nothing center about them, agreeing with it.
I don't.
Okay.
That makes it hard for
Okay.
Zionists to go, what are we fighting for Israel
What-
for when
How could we fight for Israel when the
Jewish people are not even
the
fighting for
Jewish
themselves?
Israelis aren't fighting
Yeah.
for it for
But then
themselves?
we understand that,
and we understand the whole psychology of it and everything else.
So you keep on trying.
How can you call yourself a Zionist? You're a Christian. I'm a Jew, and I'm all for giving land for peace.
Who was that? Who was that?
It's
over there?
Lawrence.
Oh, Florence.
Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence. Okay.
I,
you got
you know,
it.
I just
Gold Farm.
Lawrence just isn't rolling off the tongue for me. Can we call you Larry instead?
Fine, I went by Larry. I was being formal. Larry Goldfarb.
Okay. All right, good.
And I'm a Jew, and I don't understand how you think you can come and tell us what's good for Israel. Not that I've ever been there either, but still.
I'm going to hold
Boy,
my
it
breath.
really is
We all we
Monday.
want is peace. all we
I'm
want
holding my
is peace.
tongue.
They tell us if we give them the land, they'll give us peace. Why wouldn't we believe them?
Somebody
They'll give
take
us
care.
a piece of our mm-hms back to us. is
Somebody
what
take
they'll
care of
do.
Larry. I'm holding my tongue. Okay. Well, that's the situation, folks. We got this absurd deal with all of this huge, this immensity of opposition to Israel, this little piece of Israel, and then further defined, even more and more people are breaking up,
Right.
lining up with the
And
the
you know what?
opposition view.
It's really easy because the modern state of Israel came into being in 1948.
Okay.
Was the world ever at peace before 1948? Ever?
No.
No.
They had a couple of wars.
So why does anybody think that peace is going to break out if Jerusalem is divided, or even if the state of Israel no longer exists at all and it reverts?
Inshallah.
And
How does anybody actually believe
you're-
that? I can't believe
This is-
that anybody actually believes that.
Tom,
So therefore, what is the next conclusion from that?
Tom, we have a picture of your sod analogy
let's see
on the
it.
net too, and you'll see that one.
Oh,
little
there we
square
go.
over there in
Okay.
the first image, but in the big open area over there is United States.
The big open area. Oh, that little hole you
The
mean?
little hole.
Okay,
is in
it's
Israel,
missing. Okay.
and the,
You get a little
other-
perspective.
Yeah,
See,
that's
now,
kind
CJ,
of,
the
that's kind of
sun.
what it is right there.
All right, now here's the answer to our question. Again, they're bullet points, folks. We will on Manic Panic Monday Funday. We're kind of giving you bullet points and overview, things to be looking for, but we are going to pay very close attention to the discussions going on to show how absurd they are. And Professor Louis Beers from Purdue, who's highly respected on a lot of this, says says what the Israelis are doing in order to get to the peace table, releasing 104 terrorists,
Right.
is a violation of international law. Because when you lock up a terrorist, they don't have, particularly those in the Ummah, don't have boundaries.
Right.
Their terror, their aggression, their lethality supersedes boundaries. Therefore, the Israelis have 104 people who are a threat to the globe. For them to say, we're going to release them so that we can get into these talks, is violating all kinds of human laws, global laws, and international laws. It was a very interesting
But
argument.
these are not
So does-
terrorists. These are freedom fighters.
Does that apply to releasing people from Gitmo then?
Louis Beers would say. But here's the bullet points for you folks. The reason why we say this whole thing is absurd, apart from just the immensity of the Arab Islamic world over the Jewish world and the historical argument, is the doctrinal argument. I'm pretty familiar with Jewish theology and history, and there's no supremacist, global domination, totalitarian view where Jewish people feel we've got to control the world. All they want to do is have their own little country and have everybody leave them alone. They are not trying to extend Judaism to any other country. They're not evangelistic like Christians are, or even
they're just the
Muslims.
opposite.
Totally the opposite. You can't even
We make
become
it
a
hard
Jew.
for
We don't
you
even
to-
watch it.
Yeah, we
become a
make it
Jew?
hard
Oh my
for
God,
you to
yeah.
join.
Good luck converting to Judaism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good
So
luck.
They are.
I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew. Thank you, Rabbi.
So they are singularly focused on building their own nation and just not getting involved with anybody. Just leave us alone, right? Conversely, we understand the threat doctrine, the globalization doctrine, the totalitarian doctrine, the supreme doctrine of Islam. Theologically, philosophically, historically, necessarily, they must dominate the world. So, therefore, when Israel says, okay, we'll cut this in half, what do you think? How do you think the Islamic world looks at that other remaining half?
All the better to
They
kill
said
you.
they say to themselves, "Oh, we're halfway there."
And if you don't believe us, we're going to show you a little video right now.
Go back to 1949 when the wars started.
Now we're gonna. This is a video. It's a 1-minute video, and it's Fatah, part of the group of people sitting down to negotiate peace, It's the Muslim Arab side of the equation, the peace talks. And this video is a song that's been put together. And we'll play it quietly in the background. And Abdullah, can you translate and read in English for our folks what the words of the song are? Now dig this, folks. We have peace talks beginning today in Israel. These are the kind of songs that are sung by one of the peace partners, Muslim Islam, in this John Kerry concoction of complete absurdity. Roll it. Take a look at this. It's from Palestinian Media Watch.
Palestinian leaders applaud song calling to attack Israel.
Lower the volume.
And the rifle we will impose on our new life. Oh, Palestinians, the Zionists stand with the rifle. The Zionists are killing your dogs in sacred area. Oh, Palestinians, I want to go and be with you. Fire is in my hand, and with you attack this snake's head, Israel.
Clapping audience.
And the clapping audience is
PLO Executive Committee member Abd al-Rahim Malo, member of PLO Executive Committee, Sultan Abu El Ainan, was in the audience clapping and singing along. It was very beautiful.
Now, come back here, Mike. If you didn't quite get Abdullah's interpretation of this song being sung by the Palestinians in Israel.
This is at a gala evening concert, by the way. Okay, this is not Palestinian Idol or something like that. This is a formal.
This is a dinner.
It's like going to Carnegie Hall or something like that.
It's like a big steak dinner.
Yeah.
And here I'll read the lyrics. Oh, Palestinians, the revolution is certain. With the rifle, we impose our new life. Oh, Palestinians, the Zionists shot you with a rifle. The Zionists are killing your doves in your sacred area. Oh, Palestinians, I want to go and be with you. Fire's in my hands, bombs, and with you we will attack the snake's head, Israel.
It reminds me.
So-
of
And these
time
are the
New York-
moderates.
These are the
This
moderates.
reminds me.
These
of
are the
time in
moderates.
New York City bombs my wombs, and who's the other
Oh,
guy?
yeah.
Who's the other guy? What was
I
it?
demand an international law.
Martyrs in our wombs.
Okay. So what are we doing so far?
The
at,
unborn martyrs in our wombs.
what we're talking about now.
How does anybody look at this objectively of what they put in their textbooks, what they have on their televisions, daily incitement of not just everyday anti-Zionism or anti-Semitism, but we're talking about real hatred, real violence, real genocidal aspirations every single day, 24 hours a day. You cannot live in that society without being a part and affected by what's happening around you. And the rest of the world looks at that and says, if only you Jews would do something, then these willing, moderate people who have peaceful intentions would cease that behavior. That is absolutely false, lying, destructive. It's the end of your society. End of your civilization, the end of your culture.
Take that,
if you look
Abdullah.
at that garbage and you say to yourself, the other side, who's the intended victim of that vile talk,
Right.
That is
Forget
one
it.
angry little Jew, Trento.
Yes.
Well, it would be like we're going to Israel in a couple of months. It'd be like going to a hotel. There's a big dinner going on, and they're singing songs about killing the Palestinian. They're singing and dancing, saying we're going to kill the Palestinian. It's absurd on its face. So she's got a very, very good point.
Now here's
you
the
know?
other thing too. When you're looking at that song, this wasn't something that was just said off the cuff as a, oh, by the way, I made a mistake saying that statement, I'm sorry. hold on. You had to write the music. You had to write the lyrics. You had to have discussions on what is exactly the right word to rhyme with this other word, because this is exactly what I want to say in a song. Now, we're not done yet. Now we have to get a big, huge band, and we have to get everybody to sing along with this and play the instruments. And now we have to get a crowd in here, and they're going to enjoy this music. And look at them clapping. I mean, this is not a, oh, by the way, thought. This is a well thought out, well planned, well orchestrated event. And this is what they do all the time.
Exactly.
Well,
and the
Abdullah.
people who
Yes,
are
my
in
friend. How
the
can I help you,
audience
Mr. Trento?
watching and listening are the people who are in Washington now with John Kerry having their little iftar dinners.
Abdullah, do you have the female Palestinian master of the world link? Come to my Mike. Come to my computer. I got it right here.
Okay.
Now, let's add a little bit of insult to injury here. This came out today, Palestinian Media Watch.
Yep.
And their job is to watch Palestinian media. Fatah, the group that just presented that nice song, now has a Facebook page. You ready for this, folks? At just a couple of minutes left in the show, we're telling you about the absurdity of the peace talks. And you're going to hear all the news sources go, oh my God, the Obama administration is taking us to new peaceful heights. This is phony baloney. It's another scandal is what it is. Fatah came out recently with a Facebook page glorifying Palestinian female terrorists and the Palestinian woman, defining her, the female, as the master of the world. They are praised, female Palestinian women, for being the Palestinian woman who gave herself only as a martyr. So they have a whole list of all these Palestinian women that blew themselves up, killed Jews. And now the peace partner in Washington has a Facebook page honoring the martyrs that have and will continue to kill Jews.
Let's back this up for a second. Tom.
What the hell is this?
Let's back this up to the original statement that you made. Fatah has a Facebook page, and Tea Party groups cannot get Facebook pages, and conservatives are being kicked off of Facebook for their views. And Fatah, a racist, beyond racist, murderous, genocidal organization, has a Facebook page?
The headline is "The female Palestinian terrorist is the master of the world," and that doesn't get pulled.
That doesn't get pulled.
Well, listen to one of the female master of the world terrorists, Dala Mughrabi.
Oh,
Dala
wonderful,
Mughrabi
wonderful woman.
led the most lethal terror attack in Israel's history in 1978, when she and other terrorists hijacked a bus and killed 37 civilians, 12 of them children. Ayat al-Akaris, at age 17, was the youngest female Palestinian suicide bomber. She killed 2 Israelis and injured 28 in a suicide bombing near Jerusalem supermarket on March 29, 2002. And Laila Khalid was a PFLP terrorist who participated in the hijacking TWA Flight 840 in 1969. These women are idolized, memorialized on Fatah's Facebook page right now as the talks begin in Washington.
This is who that culture honors and respects.
Here is a good mother for you right here.
That's a good mother. That's the one he's talking about. They dress
For you folks driving your car right now, we have a mother suiting up her young child, putting a suicide belt on the young child to be used as a martyr, to be used as a bomber, eventually to be martyred. And
But the Israelis
are the bad guys.
Those are the bad guys,
The
right?
Jews, absolutely. Were we
Okay.
going to get an update on the
That's the
scorecard?
apartheid state. That's the racists, the bigots.
Let's go right to our Ramadan Bombethon.
Abdullah is wanting to get his update on.
I I'm curious too.
We
Over
were so far ahead, I cannot imagine us falling behind over the weekend. But I would like to hear the update. from
Manic
your
Panic
little,
Monday
Jewish follower.
Funday. What do we have for
well,
Ramadan
what we
Bombethon?
have, and this is not going to be completely up to date because the death toll from yesterday and today has to be figured
there
in.
was some.
Okay, because there's been lots. Day 22 on the Ramadan Bombathon. 205 terror attacks in the name of the religion of peace, 21 suicide bombings, 1,028 dead bodies, and 1,934 wounded. So already way ahead of dead and wounded for the month we will be this
Now,
So-
was
July.
that one Islamophobic?
That one
Was it-
Islamophobe.
That was Trento's man in Ukraine.
That was a Ukrainian in Britain placed
That
a
was
bomb
Grigori.
that didn't
That
go
was
off
Grigori
near a mosque.
in the Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grigori,
But nobody was injured.
Grigori tore up a.
So,
he threw a Quran at a couple of
How
people.
about Tea Party groups? Are they
No.
Tea Party groups?
No.
Oh, good.
And nobody visiting the Pope
Come on back.
in
Mike.
Brazil blew anything up either, by the way.
I mean, the
noticed.
3 million people in Brazil.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's a wacky country too. Nobody
There is-
blew
there is-
anybody.
Yeah,
up.
nobody blew
Okay.
anybody
I
up
cannot
there.
wait for the Olympics and the World Cup to visit. We will see how.
Does this Ramadan bombathon reflect the 60 people killed just a few hours ago in Iraq?
No.
No.
No, it's not up to I
Also,
told
we
you
have
it's
gone
not up
over
to
the
date.
2,000 mark in wounded.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
proud of that.
Hey, our Muslim friends.
That's how
we
they
don't-
celebrate.
we don't
it's a
hate
culture
you.
of death. It's a death cult. Okay?
We don't hate you,
Right.
and but we seriously challenge you to think about the doctrine of Islam, because you could say all you want that the people killing each other, Shia, Sunni, all of that, are just whack jobs hijacking Islam. But if you analyze, as we have, the facts of the matter and the doctrine of the matter, these people are simply following the doctrines of Islam, the beliefs, the teachings of Muhammad, the teachings of Allah. And when your God tells you to go kill other people like this and has this internecine, just suicidal destruction, you got to think this thing through seriously. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank
we
you.
have Boston bombing. We have some of the people involved in briefing the FBI tomorrow. Be with us. Take care.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Allah Akbar.
Oh, no.